Assalamu alaikum, people. What's good? Welcome back to the most uncensored podcast on the internet thus far. I'm your host, Cesario, with my co host, Archon.
Hey there.
Cool. I'm gonna run with that, to be honest. And we have a guest today, actually. Here we go, Catalyst. Yo, what's good, people, man?
Assalamu alaikum, boys.
Walaikum
How we
assalam.
doing?
Alhamdulillah. Pretty lit.
Sweet. So, got an important topic we're discussing today. So,
Yes, sir.
just a bit of, just my take on it. I think it's something that definitely does need to be talked about. Like, it's not something we can just sweep under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm keen.
Yes, sir, indeed. And today, we got a special thing. The topic is porn addiction, kill the parasite. I mean, of course, I had to name it a bit clickbaity, but so we're basically gonna be talking about the 7 important points. Yeah, it's gonna be probably in a timestamp. I hope so. But other than that, I'm just diving right into it. The first point we're gonna be talking about today is beliefs. I would like to give a bit of an introduction to it. Is that by beliefs, what I've understood thus far from everything that I've read and done is that typically an addict would have the belief on him that he cannot quit. Now, it's a very cliche thing that, oh yeah, he cannot quit. But the reality is that the sole reason why, from all the research that I've done, and I can claim that he thinks that he cannot quit, is because of all of his past experiences of trying to quit. Because, like, let's say he has been addicted, and like he went in the first time, and he was naive and he did not know anything about it, right? So he tried it out, he went in, and boom, he got caught, he got out of it. Okay, cool. Next up, he had to go back in again because, I mean, probably for some other reason, something had pulled him in, and now he was having yet another bad and negative experience. And now, whenever he tries to quit, it becomes way too difficult for him to quit. And he even goes on to, like, let's say, the social media, the sites and everything, and he tries to find out, like, what is the answer to this? How can he quit it completely? But it becomes impossible for him because whatever he sees, he cannot, like, he tries on, but it never works. Now, here's the thing. Because of, like, this thing never working, he immediately has this limiting belief that he can never quit because it's just what it is. Like, he's been trying. I mean, it's just there. The data is right there. He's been trying. I mean, it's not even stopping. So that's pretty much what I'd say from my point of view. Like, from whatever I've understood is that even though, like, you have past experiences which say that you tried quitting but you couldn't, and it's impossible for you to quit completely, that's a very big damn lie. Because no matter what it is, you can still continue, like, you can still try and bring up other things to try and quit. Because quitting this porn addiction, is actually very easy to quit. Sounds weird when I say it, but it actually is when you understand the deeper things that we're gonna mention today in the episode. Arkan, bro, you got something?
So again, with belief comes identity. So according to James Clear, let's bring up the example of the smoker. A smoker could say a smoker trying to quit smoking could either say, I don't smoke anymore, I've quit, or he could say, I'm not a smoker.
Yeah,
there's a big implication to that. So part of what instills the belief is also saying stuff like, yeah, I'm trying to quit porn addiction, or I'm trying to quit porn. But what's better to say is, yeah, I'm not going to be a porn watcher anymore, let's say, or I'm not going to be someone who watches porn anymore.
Like, I'm not going to identify with this at all.
Yes. I wholeheartedly do not identify with this act being in my persona.
Gotcha. By the way, Catalyst, bro, do you have something to add here as well?
Oh no, I was thinking exactly that, because that identity shift is very powerful. So yeah, you stole the words from my mouth.
Yes, I believe it was um, I believe it was like the TFAR model, but there is a bit more expanded version of it. I'm trying to remember. It's basically your thoughts leads to your feelings, and your feelings lead to a TFAR, right? Yeah, feelings lead to your actions lead to your results, and from then
Yeah.
onwards, your results create data, right? And the
Mhm.
data feeds your justification of why that thing is true, and your justification influences your beliefs, and your
Yeah.
beliefs influence your thoughts. So, so somewhere along that line, you have to make you'd have to um you'd have to basically hijack this process and catch it. So is instead of trying to change your own beliefs or your own thoughts, you try
Yeah.
the best place to start is by changing your actions. Because when you start changing your actions, you start changing your results, and when you start changing your results, further you further feed your beliefs in a sense
Mhm.
that this new version of yourself that you're trying to become, it's true, it's tried and tested, and it's legit.
Yeah. So it's like you look at the macro level of things and then you kind of break it down from there and go atomic instead of going
Yes.
the other way around because it's actually very difficult to notice whatever it is that's actually the issue here.
Mm.
Catalyst, you got something to add?
Yeah, I want to kind of backpedal a bit to what you said about addiction. So
Yeah.
what I want to say is, at what point does the addict kind of convince himself that this is normal, that
Mm.
it's part of your identity? So,
I
but I
would
think
say, yeah.
once you reach that stage, like the slope just becomes steeper, and it's
Yeah.
easier for you to descend like deeper
Mm.
and deeper.
It's like go down the slippery slope even more because you've completely accepted that this is normal. Like, this is how it is.
Hmm.
I would say, like, from the amount of people that I've also talked to, like, who have this addiction, who has this addiction, sorry, for them it becomes normal after trying almost everything that they possibly could have gotten their hands on, and it's all failed. And, like, they all just reinforce the idea that they cannot quit at all. And then they have to just live with this addiction instead of, like, taking this as something that they have to beat or like they don't get to understand the deeper psychological issues that happen here, and they end up just accepting that this is just it, this is just how it's gonna be. It's difficult to be, it's almost impossible to beat, and this is just how people have to live with it. Because from the easy peasy method, the book and the audiobook, I mean, everything that I've garnered from that from the content is that most of the time it's people with the wrong beliefs, and they're just stuck in there because of that wrong belief. If they did not have that belief at all, then there would be no one, practically no one, who would be watching porn at all. Like, everyone would have stopped, other than like people who want to test it out or just try and like try to have the curiosity to, like, okay, let's see what this is about. Other than that, nobody would even go near it just because of that belief. And that was just mind blowing when I like got to that part. I mean, like, damn, this is something completely different from what I've been hearing the other people say. We're just like, no fap, stick to it. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna have this thing. You're gonna have pain, brain fog, yada yada. And I've also seen this another YouTube. I mean, I wouldn't like to call her just a YouTuber. I mean, so she was working with a patient, and the patient actually told her that, why haven't I experienced brain fog yet? And she said, you're not gonna experience it because you're working with us.
What's brain fog?
My brain fog, I think, at least however much I understand, is that you don't get to think right and you're constantly thinking about porn, as far as I know. Arcana, what do you think it is?
Wait.
Like, correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
brain fog is basically like sort of reduced cognitive function. So let me look
Yeah,
at
sure.
brain fog. So brain fog is basically it's characterized by confusion, forgetfulness, a lack of focus, mental clarity,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That my understanding was completely wrong, but thank you, man. I admit
All right.
it was wrong. Although, like, going on though, like, she said that her patient would not be experiencing brain fog because he was working with her, and by working with her, I mean he had somebody who was keeping him accountable, and like also like sharing the information and like leading him step by step to quit the addiction completely. So I would say that the effects of brain fog and everything that people say that nofap and this and that is just pure BS, and you should just ignore it, because like you can you can quit this addiction easily without pain at all. And like I also said before, like the easy peasy method, which actually is what it is. It is actually very easy peasy, because the core thing the book actually hits is beliefs, and that's about it. Because think about it: when you believe something that you can do, let's say you believe that you can. The most easiest example is study for 5 hours straight, and then you're constantly positively reinforcing this idea that you can do it, and then there's no stopping you at all, and you can continuously hit it. And when you do sit for it, you do start doing it anyways, because your brain already knows that you can do it. I mean, you've just reinforced this idea, so why not even try it, right? So that's pretty much what I would say is that just fixing the belief, like this is step zero completely. That fixing your belief is enough, and it's like 80% of the game. The moment you fix your beliefs, like you can easily break this addiction, like throw it out the window.
Yeah, and that reminds me of something else as well. It's obviously a multi-layered process, which also like has the beliefs. Like there's the belief component, then there's like this like whatever more surface level psychological aspects are. Then there may be the physiological aspects of that, but in its core, it's the belief that you can actually do it. It's like even if you have the best tools at your disposal, right? But if you don't fundamentally believe that you can actually do something with those, or you can actually do something about whatever it is that you're trying to do, then you're never gonna get there. It's like I'm gonna pull from So I'm gonna pull from a videography standpoint. It's just very random. So you can have like the best camera gear in the world, but if you don't believe that you can become a good videographer, like learn the skills needed to actually make good videos and good visually pleasing videos and meaningful videos, and making meaningful clips and stuff. So there are concepts like framing and rule of thirds and all the nitty gritty stuff. So if you don't even believe that you can become one, or even like have that goal, or of course the belief, then you're not even going to take the steps to learn all the nitty gritty stuff needed to make the best use out of whatever gear that you have. Versus you can see someone with that belief that he can become one of the best videographers. You're gonna hand him a phone or even an entry level camera gear. It's not even that advanced, and you're going to see him making absolute banger out of them.
By the way, when we speak about belief, some people may have an aversion to this because of the law of attraction concept, right? That like I think it's the same thing almost, that whatever you believe, it'll come to you and stuff like that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Like attracts like, I believe, or something like that. It's like whatever you think, you're gonna attract into your life.
I mean, first off, it's that a big critique that I do have for people is that don't take things to the extreme. Stay logical. Use your rationality to understand what you can do and cannot do. Because the law of attraction, the way people have used it, has a negative connotation to it because it was very illogical. They ran with the idea that the spiritual and this and that and everything. I mean, first of all, I'm not really advocating for law of attraction or anything because I didn't even look into this thing. But I would say that a belief does play a strong part, but stay logical instead of being like all over the place and dreamy and fantasy and like thinking the fantasy will become a reality. Some things like let's say you say that okay, I'm gonna make 1 million next month, which is very absurd. I mean, how would you do that unless you already have done it before and you know the methods that you can do? But like, other than that, like, what is this bullcrap? What are you doing? You're just wasting your time and like wasting your energy. Nothing is gonna happen just because you said that you're gonna do something from nothing, but like with such a short time frame. They have at least a believable time frame. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Oh yeah. By the way, Catalyst, you've been pretty quiet. What's good?
Oh, not much. I'll just pitch in if I have something to add.
Okay. Got you, bro.
How's my connection bad?
No, it's pretty fine, bro. It's pretty strong.
Sweet.
Yeah, legit. So moving on though, like from the beliefs part only, I would say that this next part is habit. Now talking about habits is that this belief has turned into a habit because at first it wasn't just a habit, nor was it a belief at all. At first it was just a curiosity that came out of nowhere and you were just interested in looking into it, right? So you just looked into it, you got in, you just got whatever you got from there, you got out of that, but you didn't think that, you didn't understand or believe the fact that, wait, I'm going to go back there again. No, your understanding was, I'm never going back again. But somehow you got back in again, and then again, and then again. Like, it's a non-stop cycle and you haven't stopped at all. So why have you not stopped? What's the issue there? So, at first it was just like not understanding, an innocent understanding of things, and you just went in there, an innocent curiosity. Then it turned into a habit because it was being regulatory, like you were regularly going in there, and then it turned into the belief, which further reinforced the habit, and then it became a more stronger habit with a tighter grip, and hence now you're just completely, I wouldn't want to say ignorant, I would say completely averted to taking any ideas or actions to quit this thing. Because it is quittable. I'm going to have to mention this multiple times and on multiple occasions that this is quittable and it's easy to quit. It's not that difficult. If you make it difficult in your head, then it is going to be difficult because the fundamental of this addiction, porn addiction, is something related to your desires. And because it's related to your desires, that means it's related to everything psychological. If you can somehow manage, if you can completely understand, not somehow manage, I would say if you can manage it, understand which aspects this addiction has groped into it, you're easily going to get out of it because you can easily beat this.
One thing I want to add is kind of what are the triggers for this habit?
Yeah.
For example, you eat when you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You go for a walk if you're feeling lazy or if you want to clear your head.
Yeah.
So one important thing is identifying what your triggers are and eliminating it.
Yeah, that's strong.
Even if that means like, I don't know, like eliminating social media usage, which is a very big one.
Yeah.
Like if you have to bite the bullet, they have to bite the bullet. That's it.
Yeah, there's like no other way. If it's just that obvious that it's this thing, you have to do it. Somehow you have to stop it or get it in or anything. And whatever function it has to fulfill. And one thing that you mentioned, bro, Catalyst, about like social media, I personally believe on this one is I personally agree and believe that staying online, like completely online even, for longer periods of time and aimlessly of all things, it will lead you. I mean, if you already have the addiction, I'm talking to the audience directly now, like if you have the addiction, then you will head into it. Like there's nothing that can stop you. If you're online with no purpose, like you're just there randomly watching videos on YouTube, or maybe you're scrolling through Instagram or anything. Okay, scrolling through Instagram itself has an issue because you're gonna get pictures of butt cheeks every minute, like as you scroll, right? And it's just the way it is to keep you hooked. And that's how multiple companies actually keep people hooked as well, because they hit the desire, and desires are very strong areas. You can easily hit it. And I would say that if you decrease your activity and or when you're online, then go with a purpose. Understand why you are online. You cannot be online 24/7 for no reason, or just like watching YouTube videos. That's just kind of a wasted time, a waste of time. So that's pretty much all I could add personally from this thing.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think from the top of my head a point that I think we did not go over. So
Yeah.
So the habit part, it's like, there's that trigger, like cue, craving, reward, cue, craving, action, and reward that one.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's a cue which
Yeah,
leads
yeah.
to the craving for that thing, and that leads to the what do you call it? The action that you take, and then the perceived reward that you get. So this is the habit loop again from James Clear's book Atomic Habits. So this is from a very from the habitual perspective. Like, this is a very very good model. It's like, yeah, you eliminate these triggers. You eliminate these triggers, and then you're going to, if you eliminate these cues, then you're not gonna have
Like you're not
the
gonna have to
craving.
face it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Face the
But the
cravings.
thing is, what if the cue is something that's ubiquitous, i.e., that's like present everywhere? What do you do then? Like, it's not something that you can easily avoid, right? Like, let's say in your case it's like that. Then just simply eliminating the trigger, it's not it's a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox, but it's not exactly like practical in this sense, because you're going to have to face it if you just lead life, right? So the other thing you can do is just simply move to a mountain where you aren't exposed to stuff like this, and
Which
you're
is
done. But that's
completely just illogical. Like, why would you do that?
yeah.
That means
Yeah,
like
so
it's
that's
everything. Like even air is your trigger now.
yeah, so that end of the extreme can happen as well. So coming back to like the point number one is the beliefs, the fundamental belief that you
Yeah.
can do that. So beliefs, again, let's say that you let's say you look at your trigger might be, let's say you look at a woman or something, and then
something.
that's yeah. I'm just giving a very specific example.
Yeah, a woman.
Then
Let's say you're just randomly seeing a woman walk by in a
yeah,
hot,
and
a
then
hot
that's your
woman, right?
So you can shift your frame of reference. You can be like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's a person, and yeah, that's a person, and
That's
it's
pretty
like
much it.
she's not an object. Yeah, that's a person, and she's deserving of respect or whatever that is.
It's like
Or
that's a person. Goodbye.
yeah, exactly. So like, why am I getting so worked up over
About
that?
this, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So why am I even doing this? I'll tell you a personal story. I mean, like I told you just before we started, right? I mean, I was heading out at like 2:30 or 3 a.m. like to eat outside,
Yeah.
eat at the Bengali restaurant, and yeah, like things are. Like, we passed by a few bars, we saw prostitutes and everything, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
looked at that, but what was going on inside my
Like it's
mind
like
is
you didn't intentionally
poor,
look at
like
them, but like
poor.
it just came in front of your eyes.
I mean, dude, they were everywhere. So what
Yeah.
could I do, right? I mean, I couldn't even film videos half the time because of them. Anyways, so
By the way, for
my
a bit of context, Arklan was there to like shoot for a film he's working on. I mean, not a cinema film, but like it's a film, a test film. But yeah, that's the issue he had. He could not film at all because of the amount of prostitutes. It was just packed,
exactly.
apparently.
Yeah, and also I told you, like, we were going to the Bengali restaurant, so yeah, like right around the corner there were bars and stuff. So
Understandable.
it wasn't so if my triggers were to, like, see women like that and like be like, oh, like that's my trigger, and now I'm gonna go and watch porn and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're going out to eat and you're having to see that. So that's not exactly a very practical thing. If you if you would want to eliminate the trigger, then you'd have to stay home or not go to that restaurant anymore. What I did. So let me tell you what happened to me as I was experiencing what I was taking in. I was like, oh my god, poor thing. Like, this is the lifestyle that they choose. This is how this is how they're being programmed to lead
I'd
their
like
life.
to add something here, though. Like, the amount of people who like get into prostitution and this and that, and like porn and do this and that. Just for the record, these are all people with high level of insecurities. Like, if someone did not have insecurity of how they look, why the hell would they ever go and make it public? Like, hey, look at my body, people, look, I'm so hot, right? Thank you for the validation. Like, that's an insecure person's literal screams.
I would also say it's just extremely ludicrous in terms of the money you can acquire. So
yeah, it's like it's like playing into people's insecurities, right? Just like how, I mean, typically the typical social media works is that they play on people's insecurities so that they can share it, and then they get the money, and then they share more of it. And people are still there, stuck in there. There's a lot of drama there. And like, people are frequenting the websites and this and that, and it's a whole other different thing, right? So this is pretty much why I would say that people playing at people's insecurities is the best business out there. As harsh and as weird as it sounds, I mean, this is pretty much what's happening here. Like, this is why the porn industry is like so many billion or $1 million in like their revenue. It's like
billions, yeah,
and billions. Yeah, it's like obviously people are filled with insecurities over here. I mean, if you think about it, if someone values themselves, do you really think they're gonna go in front of the camera and be full on naked? It's like, why? Who the hell would do that in their like most logical sense, in the most sane thought process? Why the hell would someone do that? Of course, we'll have a lot of blue pill and other bullcrap of people coming here out of nowhere that will scream at the top of their lungs that, oh, it's an art form. Oh, this is just a part of society. Like, shut the frick up right there. Just shut up. Shove a pole down your throat, bro. There's no such thing as normality in this bullcrap. This is completely ludicrous and insane. That people are here showing off their bodies and everything. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, what's the ultimate value you're getting out of it?
Exactly. You're just short circuiting the
for money.
Yeah. Catalyst.
Yes. I've just got this statistic here. So MindGeek, which kind of is like a conglomerate which owns a majority of companies, they made $460 million in revenue in 2018.
Ooh. By the way, MindGeek is the primary, at least when you look up porn websites, you'll see like the parent company of all the porn websites. That's basically MindGeek.
No way, I thought that was a programming website. But anyway. Oh no, that's Geeks for Geeks. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much ended my point over there. It's like, stop with like glamorizing insecurities in the way that this is so helpful, this is so much stuff, yada yada. It's like, no, you're just freaking prostitutes. Even the porn actors and actors themselves are prostitutes because they're being paid to be sluts on camera. There's no other questioning here, because the prostitutes outside, they're paid for being sluts just in real life. And so that's pretty much it. Yeah. It's the most degrading thing for a human, even. Like, why would you ever degrade yourself with this bullcrap?
I think,
like, completely, why?
If I can just interrupt,
this
is a good segue to part 4, breaking the lies. So, like, it's like kind of like digging behind the facade of industry being painted as glamorous and liberating.
Yeah.
So you can continue, Cesaro.
Yeah, taking from the point that you made that glamorizing and liberating, is like, there's no such thing as liberation when you are completely being naked in front of a camera for people to watch you, because you are a slave of the people who are watching you and the slave of the people who are recording and who you expect that money from. Because, like, let me put it this way. The moment you live and die, you breathe air and do everything, you eat food and you like look good because of pleasing people, which, I mean, why the hell should you even do it in the first place? And you do it for pleasing people and asking for their validation, then where is you? Like, where are you? There's no form of you here. It's like you're here doing everything in a fake way. Are you truly living your life? Are you sure you're living without the suicidal thoughts? Like, are we for real that this is completely clean and like not so, how can I put it? And not so just all over the place? What's the point of pleasing people at the expense of yourself? This is my point. It's like, what's the freaking point of pleasing people at the expense of yourself? Like, why or how? Like, what's the benefit? Nothing. You're gonna get get a paycheck for real, but what's gonna happen next? You're gonna go back in there again for that paycheck. It's like living paycheck to paycheck. It's like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here. So I read an article about like a popular, like a adult actress, to keep it PG.
Yeah, sure
But
thing.
yeah, so like it's like the report was talking about how she bought like a new, like multi-million-dollar property, but then
Yeah.
she has difficulty finding a partner for obvious reasons, because
Obvious.
no one wants someone who's been from guy to guy to guy to guy to girl to guy, and also like her parents don't speak to her, so
Yeah.
she's got the money, but like her social life, her family life is completely shattered.
Like, if this woman wants to live an individualistic life and live alone completely without any partner or anybody around her, she could do that. But as humans, we are social creatures. We have to have that balance. And this is the bullcrap that people like push forward and push forth, is that, oh, you can have all the money in the world, babe. You're the boss, babe. This and that. And then, like, okay, now let's talk about her other 50% of the life. I mean, you just ate up all 50% of it, like turning her into a complete commodity and turning her into a complete slave. I mean, good job at that. Next, let's talk about the rest 50%, which I hope she is alive, and I hope she is not committing suicide, and I hope she is not, like, hurting herself in any other way. Because what you see in the Western societies, or any society who adopts the idea that it's liberating or it's completely good and like it's completely the most beautiful thing ever to show yourself out there in the most provocative manner and completely eat people's prefrontal cortexes. I mean, damn.
Wait, what? What's
Yeah.
that phrase?
Which one?
The prefrontal cortex one.
Prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that's at the very front, like right behind your temple. Like right behind your temple. It's for the thinking, rationalization, and I can't remember. It's more. It's like the decision making part of your brain. And when you watch porn, according to research and statistics, as far as I've understood, is that your prefrontal cortex decreases in size. So tell me how people are going to even start thinking logically at all, because they're completely dumb. Like, they're literally dumb because they've castrated their prefrontal cortexes, and the guys who are watching porn, they're already castrating themselves. I mean, that's a whole different marriage of bullcrap and just negativity and, like, negative mental health and everything. I mean, there's nothing that's actually happening here at all. It's like you're just having a marriage of bullcrap. Live in hell for eternity. Like, this is pretty much it. They're having to live in hell. Hell on earth.
Not to mention it's going to screw up your marriage as well.
Not only your marriage, it's going to screw up your friendship, your contacts, I mean, if you can possibly even go do a business, I hope you can in that situation, because I haven't seen anyone still able to do it. And the only guy who has spoken up about it has a TED Talk and has actually, like, slammed the porn industry as well, as like how porn has actually destroyed this guy. I'm going to link the TED Talk in the description or maybe in the comments. But, man, this was just a whole different thing that he said his main goal in life is to literally stop porn. Like, main goal, or maybe it was like the thing he's strongly focused on is to, like, stop porn completely.
Wow.
Not quit porn, like he's quit porn, but it's like stop porn for other people as well. It's like,
for other people too.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It was just so insane. Because when I was looking into it, I was just shocked that a CEO. I mean, I think he was a CEO or he was something along those lines. And like he is talking about this, man. This thing runs deep. And then I had to learn that everybody on the world is technically doing this. You cannot go by one person because even according to a study where they tried to find one person, like people like fappers to no fappers, they found that like everyone is a damn fapper. It's like, damn, this is what hell of a world we live in.
No, I believe it was they tried to find someone who never has had watched porn or was exposed to stuff like this, and
they could not find anyone that's like that. Also, like they no masturbation, no porn. That was
it was like even someone at age 20, they couldn't find anyone.
The funny thing is, this addiction for many people starts at like apparently currently the recorded age is 9, which is just weird. Completely like wow, a 9-year-old.
Do you have a source?
I'll have to look for it actually, but yeah, apparently the current recorded age is 9, where the child isn't even like the child isn't even developed. They are in the development phase. And
do you even learn about like sexual education at like school at that age?
I don't think so. I mean, I can sort of confirm that as well. It's like I was like, I'm not gonna reveal any identities, but I was basically looking for games to play, and I found like I was looking for games to play in a computer, and I found pictures on the desktop, and it was like very, very disturbing to me. And so even though I was not actively looking for something like that, I had no conception of anything like that at that age, but yeah, it still happened, right?
Yeah,
even
completely.
though it wasn't my choice.
And the funny thing is, like when I was 16 and I was like in my tutor's house and everything. I'm not tutor's house. I mean a building where multiple tutors would come have their like classes and everything. So one day I was in one of the classes. It was completely vacant because the tutor isn't even there and everything. So like one of the guys I knew, he was my classmate. So then we were talking, and then he said like he watches porn and everything like that, and then he has a whole library on his iPad. And then he was just scrolling through it and showing me everything. And here's the fun part, which I will say. I did not get hard. And here's the fun part, why I didn't get hard. Because my belief was, I don't give a crap about this bull crap. This can go to hell. I'm not getting hard on this thing. This is artificial. This is bull crap. I'm not into it. This is just going to straight up kill my sanity. This is going to kill my value of who I am and who I want to look for in a wife. I mean, what I want to look for in a wife. I mean, damn. And then I just like had to leave. After a while, I just had to strictly leave because damn was that a load of bullcrap in there. There was a whole library. And he was also sharing his story that he had a girlfriend, but he still was addicted to it. And it's like, so where does it stop? Like, where does this thing stop then?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, right. That reminded me. What? So that reminded me of yesterday's experience as well. I saw those prostitutes in the street, and my thinking automatically shifted to like, poor thing. Like, this is the life they lead, and all the things associated with their lifestyle and stuff. And after that, I also started like thanking Allah for the life that I have. It's like being born a Muslim, being instilled these awesome values, these wholesome, harmonistic values inside of you. You know, Islam is the truth, of course. So being instilled these values from a very young age and living that life instead of having to start from scratch. And here you see these people like it's one thing to see them online, maybe like in the news, or maybe they're being depicted in the movies or anything, but it's completely something else if you watch that in person. Like it feels very heartbreaking.
And you just want to pity them.
I was actually
man.
Dude, like I was almost on the verge of crying because I was feeling so grateful for my own life that I never got involved into any of these. None of my family is, and just been blessed by Allah that
indeed
we never got close.
And the fun
to any
part is
stuff
that like we pity them, but it's not like they cannot turn themselves around.
Yeah,
But I know
exactly.
that the topic has turned from porn to literal real life prostitute because this has a full on connection.
Yeah.
This is a pure connection. It's like this is like you cannot ignore this at all, and you have to also understand that everything now, the modern media, wherever you look, I mean, in video games, even straight up.
Mm.
I'm not even gonna call out some video games. Well, it's like 90% of the video game industry is just filled with like softcore pornography,
Oh.
which is impossible to move out of even. Like when you try to play a game, because I've been trying to play some games recently, like at least mobile games, and I cannot find any game that's like other than just some puzzle piece games or stuff like that. But like 90% of the games that I saw was just filled with softcore pornography. And like, how are people not gonna feel on edge? How are people not gonna want to go back to porn?
Mm.
Like, it's just everywhere. So what do you do about it? It's kind of hopeless, right?
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I'm gonna just end my point with that. It's not nihilistic at all, and like we're gonna reveal things one step at a time. It's like peeling off an onion. You cannot go directly to the core. You have to go layer by layer.
yes, you guys talked about the concept, and I talked about it in the video. Plug Achilles, subscribe. But essentially,
No
like,
worries, I'm gonna
porn
share the
has
link.
kind of hectic. Yeah, it's like porn has kind of escaped the digital screen nowadays. It has entered the real life, like it's on the billboards, it's on the social media, it's on the advertising, it's on the buses, it's in the video games, like you
Yeah.
said. So it's like, where do you, like, if you just want to like have a clear mind, like not have your thoughts infected with, any sexually explicit material, like where do you go? So yeah, I don't have a
Yeah, it's
I don't have a
it just
solution for this
yeah.
except just reduce what you consume. Like adopt minimalism and yeah, be careful what you expose yourself to.
It's legit. I would say like I don't have a solution either, but I do have a probable solution, which I'm currently testing with the people that I talk to, and I've been seeing that it does work. So like from everything that I've said is like I think this is actually a solution, but for now it's just probable and it's under tests. Although moving on though, like Arkan, you got something to add?
Yeah, I was talking about again previously framing. Previously I talked about. So it's ubiquitous, right? Like there are so many triggers around. So you can also like borderline basically you use the triggers as an excuse for your behavior as well.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I could suggest that you add in your toolbox of things that you use to change behavior is the way you frame things. I told you, right? There was like prostitutes literally in front of me, and my thoughts shifted to like me being grateful for my own life, me making dua for them that may Allah guide them to the straight path, that feeling very sorry for them and whatever it is that they have to go through, and then just leaving the place, right? So I mean, so I was looking, so the porn addict and like the one that gets hard by looking at these people versus me, like they could look at the same thing, like,
Or
right?
maybe it doesn't
Yeah.
even get aroused in
Yeah, let's say
certain
let's just say like they get aroused,
situations.
or maybe they do. But the thing is, it's all about how you frame the thing. We could be looking at the same thing, but interpret it differently with our own internal monologues.
I'll be honest, I was gonna say the same thing. It's literally how we frame things and like from which perspective we're viewing everything. And like having your own filter.
Exactly.
Because I have a literal live example. Like I can literally use myself as an example here, which is when I go out and then whenever I see some women like inappropriately dressed or something, my immediate thought process is, okay, see ya. You're just a human. Goodbye. I tip my hat to you and I move on. I don't have time for this bullcrap. I got some place to go, I'm gonna go there. I don't give a crap. Here's another human on the planet with me. See ya. Moving on. It's like frame and understanding that from what perspective do you want to see people in?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, like let's say this inappropriately dressed woman is here. You could go and be oh my god, I'm so horny right now. I gotta go home real quick to the toilet so that I can just go to the 7-letter website. Or you could be just another human, nice, do whatever the hell you want.
I love that, by the way. With the impression too. Oh man.
What?
The impression, the 7-letter website. Oh yeah, continue. Bro.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, so I think now would be a good time to shift to part 5. Willpower is overrated.
Was it part 5? Oh yeah, we were doing the part 3 and 4 together. Right. Cool. Wait, give me a minute. Alright, we're back.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is that in terms of the behaviors of the addict, like it takes a lot of willpower to return to something again and again, perhaps in different contexts at different times. So that's a great exercise in willpower.
Yeah.
But obviously it's
not for the right things.
Towards a very unproductive action.
Yes. And like this part is called the willpower is overrated. Now, this is my personal take, and also from the things that I've read, is that you really don't need willpower at all. And let me explain a bit before anyone gets triggered.
You gotta explain.
Yeah, is that like what is willpower needed for? Well, why do you need willpower? Well, let's give a hypothetical example. You are a runner, and you have to practice running. Let's say for a track or anything, like you have a competition coming up. Now you're running, but then your legs give out. Like they're almost on the verge of giving out. But you stick through it anyways. You put your willpower to the work and you go in anyways. Now, let's break down the scenario. For this runner, for him to be able to overcome his fatigue and also a bit of his weakness and also having the mental strength is good. He needs that, and he needs to get to the finish line, which is a good reasoning as well, which is actually pretty good, which is productive as well. So here's the thing: the willpower is needed only for things that you know are good for you, but you just feel like you can't do it, but then you have to do it as well, so you just push through anyways. But for porn, the thing is, it's not good for you at all. Your brain deludes you into thinking that it's good for you because it feels like, oh well, he's reproducing, I mean, what can I say? But here's the thing, your brain doesn't understand that that's not reproduction.
Wait, what?
Yeah, your brain thinks that, oh well, he's reproducing, I mean, the things are coming out of him, I mean, well, why not? Then might as well go there. It's being fulfilled, I mean, yay. But your brain is deluding you here because your brain doesn't understand that this is not good for you at all, because your dopamine systems right now have been hijacked. And continuing onwards though, your dopamine systems have been hijacked, and because of that, your brain is currently deluded into thinking that this is what relieves that pleasure, because yes, that is relieving the pleasure, but not that it is relieving in the correct way. It's ending up sacrificing your entire vitality just for that pleasure. So, I mean, this is not what it's supposed to be, but your brain doesn't understand that. And this is why I say that your brain may think that this is good, and this is why you think you need to give the willpower, but in reality, there's no reasoning for you to put willpower into this thing, because this is not good for you at all. Instead, it's harming you. There's no reasoning for you to muster up all the courage and just enter into the 7-letter website and just watch a video, even look for a video, because some people have the most impossible task on their hands when they're in there. They have to look for the correct video to scratch their itch, which is just impossible at times even. And they have to slowly get into the most hardcore stuff, and then it gets into the most weirder stuff. So that's all I'm going to say, is that willpower is not needed just because of this, because it's not good for you. And you understand that, but your brain doesn't, because your brain has connected the wiring that you're horny, it means you have to watch porn. You're horny, and it means your desires are all excited and giddy, and they want to be out, and you have no other outlets, so you might as well go to porn, right? Wrong. 100% wrong. You can never allow yourself to be deluded. You can never allow yourself to get shoved under the rug by this. Understand what this is. This is why, going back to the first point, belief. The moment you have understanding and belief, you can easily frame a perspective grid around this issue, the addiction itself, and then you can logically reason and break it down to why you shouldn't even be going there. And I'll be honest with you, willpower is not needed, and this is backed up by not me only, but like even the books that I've read. Is like you don't need willpower at all. And I'm gonna even share the Drive link. I mean, why not? You can read all the books there is too. You do not need willpower at all to quit this. So what do you need? Again, driving back to the first point, belief. You need to understand. And you need to, because understanding is the first key way, and it's the 80% of the game. And then the 20% is just the way it is. Or like the 80-20 rule here looks like it's kind of weird, but I'm just making it enough to just show you the positive aspect of it, the how strong belief really is. Although, guys, you got something to add here?
So again, I just thought of example is it's like to do anything significantly different from what you're trying to do. Maybe it's more difficult for you. Actually, some level of willpower is actually needed. Okay, so but because of your beliefs regarding that particular thing, your level of willpower required would be less. So, for example, let's say you're trying to run 1 kilometer or something, let's say, and you do not believe that you would be able to do that. So but your conviction is you're going, even though you don't believe it, you're going to do that anyway. Well, how hard is it going to be for you? It's going to be very difficult because, well, again, your beliefs are going to be working against you, and every step of the way, your mind is going to be going against you, going against the goal that you are striving for, which
It's like
is
an uphill
running.
slope.
Yeah, exactly, uphill battle. So even if you do manage to complete it, it's like your willpower is like completely depleted or something. Versus, you know that you're gonna be able to do that. You know how it's going. You have the belief that you're going to be able to complete the 1 kilometer run. And to strengthen your beliefs, you've looked at how it's done, how you run, like how you structure your running speed for completing that 1 kilometer run, how you manage your energy, how you manage your diet, etc., looking into all the science and the stuff behind it. So the more you look into stuff like this, the more strengthened your beliefs are.
Yeah.
And then you just start running. And so every step of the way, well, even though it's going to be hard, you know that you're going to be able to do it. So even if it's hard, it's still your mind is going to be working for you because you know that you're going to be able to do it. You have the belief. So the willpower that you use, well, maybe let's say let's say you've ran a 1 kilometer run before versus you haven't. So if you have never ran that 1 kilometer run, but you know that you're going to be able to do it, well, you're going to have to expound or at least use some level of willpower, right? But versus you've done that before and you know that you're going to be able to do it, so yeah, let's just go for it. So then the level of willpower that you have to use will be even lesser. So that's the thing. The stronger your beliefs are, the less willpower that you're going to have to use.
Yeah.
I just came up with it right now, actually. It just clicked.
Also, the other thing is that your beliefs are literally equal to your thoughts, because whatever you believe
before you.
Yeah.
No, your thoughts come from your beliefs.
Yeah, literally. Because if you have a negative belief, your thoughts are going to be negative. Yeah, Catalyst, you're going to add something.
Yeah, I'm just. It's getting late now, so I might have to dip.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But have a good chat, boys. Inshallah, I'll watch the video when it drops. So.
All right, bro.
Yeah. With that, take care, boys. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, man.
All right. So we talked about willpower. Next is the desire management.
Ooh.
I think that with my previous examples, I actually gave a preview for this part, right? Desire management. I told you, right? Like I literally saw a prostitutes in front of me. They were like very scantily dressed, but the way I framed the situation and the thoughts that were coming up in my mind, they 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 made it so that I had no space in my mind to actually feel things or think thoughts that would arouse me. So I was because my mind was filled with being grateful for my own life, for being a Muslim, and feeling very pitiful for these people and making dua for them,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So because my mind was so focused on doing this that the other possibility, which was getting aroused by these people, was like was not.
It non-existent. It's because your frame of
Yeah,
mind.
it didn't. Exactly, it didn't even exist, right? It did. There was no chance it was gonna happen.
Because your framing was
And of
just
course,
like, I'm not accepting this at all. It's like I just feel pity for
yeah,
them. Moving on.
yeah, exactly. So there's that desire management. There's like one example of desire management.
Although, like,
So
desire
again,
management is like, that's the, like, because I actually did come up with this term, but like, that's the surface thing.
mhm,
But then if you go deeper in, it's that whenever you have your desires just like peaking, then, oh man, I think I gotta jack off or something. The understanding here is that you have to shift your focus completely. That you cannot allow yourself to believe that, man, I'm feeling this. Maybe I should just go and get rid of this like feeling, or just go and please myself using porn or something. It's first off, it's never using porn. It's abusing porn because you're using it to abuse yourself.
mm,
You're harming yourself only. Like you're harming people around you, of course, who you could have helped, but you can't because I mean now you're just on a very lower level. Right? You're not even on your best peak or anything. And
yeah,
just by shifting your focus from there and like understanding that, all right, I got stuff to do, I gotta prepare myself in every part of the way that's possible, i.e., education, like knowledge. Knowledge does not, we will continue this on the knowledge education episode, but like knowledge isn't constrained only to your school books or anything. Now, moving on is that then there's the aspect of mental health, which we also will expand on in the mental health episode. But like fixing your mental health is your top priority. It always should be. And finally, ending it with like your purpose, meaning not your purpose in life only, because as Muslims we know our purpose in life. It is like to worship Allah, but to understand that worship doesn't mean only praying, reading Quran, or understanding Sunnah, practicing it only. No, there's more to it. Worship is in 24/7. Like just breathing air itself is in and of itself a type of worship. Now I don't know where I've heard of that last, but I know that when I did hear of it, I verified it that yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about it. Is that you have to reframe yourself overall, not just your mind now. Now you have to reframe your complete self and just shift yourself from there to something that's very productive and that will get you to get married, inshallah, and then also like finally fulfill it in halal. But there's also another thing that I should mention before like we move on to something else, is that many people have this fear that you are gonna miss out on the girl that you possibly could get now. Now let me explain this a bit. Is that people think that, man, she is the one for me. There's no one who can replace her, etc., etc. I personally do not believe in this because here's the thing: the population percentage of women to men is like women are way more in population than men. If you compare that to the population percentage, so how are you expecting for someone to like wait around, or just like for this woman to wait for you? Yeah, maybe some can. I mean, you've seen a lot of romance movies and stuff like that. I mean, they wait around, right? That's not reality. Not everyone can do that. Maybe some will, but she's gonna get old, and you should always understand that a woman's her biology is way more different to a male's biology. So for a man, you could be 30 and you'd still be going. You could be 40 and 50, you'd still be going. And for a woman, as far as I know, it's like at 30 she tanks. Like at 30, around 30, she starts tanking, which is pretty much like in the red pill environment. People will talk about this a lot. That at 30 she her SMV starts going down, right? So here's the thing: stop worrying about like this one girl you'll find and everything. Like she's gonna be the one. When in reality, there's like multiple girls out there. Like stop worrying about this unnecessary. This is complete BS. Yes, if you have someone right now you can get married to, go ahead. No one's stopping you. But do not consider this one for 1 minute even that, oh man, she's the one. And then like something happens, like, oh no man, I'm completely heartbroken and everything. To save your heart and to save your mind, you have to understand that like the world, the logic of the world, it's not like logic just because I'm saying this to sound like a misogynist or something. Like, I mean, people like pointing fingers and putting labels. I mean, you're welcome to do that. Not that it even bothers me, but like, there's no point in allowing yourself to just tank and like completely be obedient to the point where you're just slaveable. Like, you can easily be turned into a slave because, man, now she's just dangling sex for you. Now that's just weird. Like these things end up getting to the weirdest territory. And even for many people to like find it difficult to quit porn is because they think that, man, the world is so nihilistic and so hopeless that I just don't want to quit it anymore because I don't find it in me to even like worth quitting. Because look at the way the world is. I mean, damn. Here's the thing. You have to be the change to see the change. I'll repeat that. You have to be the change to see the damn change, people. Because if you expect things to just work out never happens. It's like a dream. I mean, you can live in your fantasy and expect things to work out. But like everything in the world that has worked out because someone stood up and did something about it. It didn't work out just because. Nothing happens like that. Although, Arkenberg, you got something to add?
Not really. Not exactly. Like we were talking about desire. We were talking about desire management. So
Yeah.
So your points made me think about the issue, which is this can be a multi-layered problem. Some people might be like so there are many aspects and there are many domains to it. It's like the physical and physiological domain. There's the mental and emotional domain. Then there's the spiritual domain. So maybe for some people, all they need is a change in a change in the cues. That habit
Perspective.
thing, right? Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
cues that trigger like it's an entirely like physical and psychological thing. Maybe for
Oh,
other
yeah, I
people,
got you.
and so maybe for other people it could be what did you just speak about right now?
It was like the abundance mindset. Like, people are at abundance, like you don't need to worry about it. Like, it's not gonna be like the world is ending and there's no one I can find, yada yada yada. It's like, nah, bro, nah, that's not how anything works.
Yeah, for some people it can be that shift as well. Maybe some people feel worthless about themselves because they would feel like they would never be able to find someone someone that they love. Maybe their
Your
solution,
self-esteem issues.
self-esteem issues, exactly. And so maybe their solution is just start going to the gym and start working out, and then they see changes in their body, and then they get their sense of self-esteem gets higher, right? And some
Now the
people,
thing is, yeah. Adding on to that though is like, sorry for interrupting a bit, but like adding on to it is that the reason why it sounds cliche that go to the gym and everything, but it's because for a man to look good, you actually have to hit the gym. Like, that's the most easiest way. Like, that's actually the most easiest way to change your like outlook on life itself, because you look good, you feel good, and then you also have like this understanding that, man, I worked so hard, I finally got the results, and I got positive results. I'm so grateful for this, and you start having this mental shift that, man, the world isn't like all the negative things that I used to think it is. Like, there's negativity, but it's a minority. It's not like it's a majority.
exactly. So you start seeing these things in these changes in your life, and then it starts a loop. Just like there's the negative loop, the negative feedback loop, there's also these positive feedback loops that you can induce in your life as well. So for maybe some people, it's like the changing their physical appearance in the good way, right? In that good healthy way, which is get working out and stuff. Oh, by the way, one thing that I also came across, it was sex transmutation. So it's basically how I've seen and how I personally have tried doing that is, whenever, let's say, there's an seemingly uncontrollable desire, right? I mean, of course my beliefs are, yeah, like this is not part of me, but I might still feel that, like, I might still feel that physiologically. So I know that
Of
it's sort of a
course.
physiological problem. So then I just think, okay, this sexual energy, well, this is energy, and it's very bro sciencey, but energy, energy can be, like, what's the fundamental law of energy, like law of
It
conservation of
can't
energy?
be created
Yeah,
or destroyed. You can
only
transfer it.
converted from one form to another. So I think, okay, so this energy, I can convert it to, like, this energy is intense, and I need to get it off, right? So, but my
Yeah.
option is obviously not, jacking off, because that's, we already know how stupid that is. So use that somewhere else. Use that to bang out like 50 push-ups or something, or as many as your body can handle, and then that
Yeah.
energy is gone, and you've also used that in a positive way.
I
You've
was gonna
you've
mention this, like,
channeled that energy.
yeah. I was gonna mention this, that this is more of a physical energy. It's like this energy wants you to do something physically, not mentally. Like just sitting still
Yeah.
won't do. So like working
Mm.
out is the best solution, true, but like there's even more solutions to it. Like whatever you can come up with. For like if I would take myself for an example, for me it's just kickboxing. Like, just get kickbox, just start kickboxing, hit something
Yeah.
random. It's fine completely. Just do something. At least get the energy out. And at the end, it's like it's a fair trade because the energy is out. I worked out. I'm pretty good. Let's move on.
And you've
I mean, it's a
also, like,
50-50
gained
win.
progress. Yeah, and you've also gained progress in your kickboxing journey. So you work towards something,
Literally.
and that feeling also uplifts you, uplifts a part
Yep.
of you. So
It's
yeah,
like a
that's like,
full-on positive thing.
yeah. So that's that. So that this is like a physical and physiological example, right? So and so we talked about, like, the psychological belief part of thing. Like, maybe some people just need to change some of their beliefs regarding porn, regarding sex, regarding the opposite gender and stuff. And then their problems are going to be solved. Some people just need a little bit of a psychological shift with the cue craving reward, like that model. Some people just need, just need to understand that it's the physiological aspect of it, which I just mentioned. Like, there's that solution as well. And finally,
Yeah.
there's also the religious side of things, which is like, God
Yeah.
is watching you, and doing stuff like this, it's going to, you're just gonna
Just add to your
acquire more
sins.
sins. Yeah, just more
Yeah. Just add to your
acquire
sins.
more sins. Yeah, so it's gonna screw up part of your. So if you're trying to become a better Muslim, so it's going to hinder part of that. It's going to unnecessarily hinder you trying to become a better Muslim.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see, okay, this thing is affecting my spiritual life. This is affecting my mental life, my physical life, etc., etc. No way. So it's a very multifaceted solutions, a multifaceted thing with multifaceted solutions. So identifying which parts are more stronger, right, and then just going
Yeah.
to going to work at it with the belief, with the firm belief that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can actually get to the other side and be a completely, like, the 2.0 version of you at the end.
Yeah, and like many people will not also believe this, that damn, like for real, I can be better. No, man, you're joking, man. I'm gonna move on. Like, no, this is not a joke. This is for real. Like, this is the realest thing that can possibly, like, we can possibly say, is because, and like this is also the first reason why I started this, like why we started this series as the first episode and the second episode, is because this is a pandemic, and like people just don't understand how serious this issue is. They will blame it on everything. It's like, man, it's just this feminism, man, it's just this liberalism and everything. It's like, those are the problems, yes, but do you see something else that's the problem? Like something that's holding everyone back? It's like something that's at the core, the very core, is because like the sole reason, like what was liberalism's thing really? Just desires. Like everything is based on desires. And what is the number one rule in self-improvement is that we go against our desires. Like we go against comfort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So exactly how would you stay in everything that you desire then? Because like yes, you can have normal desires and stuff like, and I'm not saying desires are bad. I'm just saying that acting it out in a way other than the way it was legislated for you, it's like, man, you got some stuff to change right there. Because this is, you can't treat this as a joke anymore. Because you're just harming yourself. And also adding to that, like now going to the next point, basically, I would say, is that like the Muslim issue. Now, why did I title that? This is something I will explain. Because this is something that I've been noticing from talking to many people as well, is that some, like a lot of men who just get out of this and then they all, I mean, I already said this in the episode 1 that no, we want to look for marriage and this and that. The thing is that they actually stay blind to the fact that there's a lot of different things that you should be knowing before you even enter in, right? It's not like it's way too difficult, but it actually needs you to know some things, right? Like how, not parenting. Let's say like for parenting, you can learn it when you're in there, in the marriage. Like, you can learn it then even. It's fine. Or, okay, but at least you have to understand how the female biology works. You have to understand how she thinks, who she is. Because you've been around guys, and like you've been quote unquote around girls. Like you talk to them and this and that, but like you've not lived with them. You've technically talked to guys, but also technically you know them inside out because you've been there every single day. But for a girl, you cannot do the same process because a girl is nowhere near similar to a man. A woman is nowhere near similar to a man. Like, we have completely different physiological, psychological needs and understandings. And this is the first thing that anyone who wants to get married should just consider learning. Because, man, you're just gonna shoot yourself on the foot for if you just want to go blind. And also you have to understand the various things. Because just marriage will never solve your issue. Like just marriage, because there are also many stories of where people have gotten married, but like the addiction never stopped.
Yeah, and it ended up destroying their marriage, destroying their relationship.
Yeah, completely. And also like they had kids, but then it went even more like horrible. And that's just the thing, because people think of things from a surface level aspect, and then they don't fix it, but they just go in there hoping that it will fix it. The thing is, it's all logical. This world is completely logical. You can think of everything and get to a solution. Now, of course, not 100%, but like at least 90% or 80% or even 70%, you can think of it and get to it. And then there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to say, man, it's just what Allah destined for us. First off, we don't even know how destiny works.
Yeah.
Don't.
How are you so sure?
Like,
how are you so sure?
Yeah, like how are you so sure that this is how your destiny is? Like, we don't know how. We haven't been given this knowledge. Don't delude yourself and don't unnecessarily hurt your brain thinking that, man, this is the destiny, so I don't think I should be trying this. No, try it, man. Because then why is there also the parts where Allah says, I mean, I think this is a hadith, right? That like tie your camel and also
camel, yes.
Yeah, it's a hadith then, yeah. Like tie your camel and also trust in Allah. Like, why is the tie your camel there then? I mean, why is that aspect? That aspect right there is enough to tell that no, we don't know how destiny works, bro. We're gonna have to do both sides. Like, we have to do everything we possibly can in our power and not leave it open-ended.
Yeah.
And this is also another thing that like people rush into marriages, and like this is why I call it the Muslim issue, because many people will be like marriage, and like some people, I haven't really seen how many, but I would say like some people will end up rushing in there, and then it's just like a whole different ballgame because this is not what they expected. They thought it's like marriage, first night, desire, what's the specific term for this again?
Copulation?
No, not copulation. Consummation. Right.
Consummation. Yeah.
They'll consummate the marriage. Boom. What next? Now they're just completely dumbfounded because nothing is happening. Exactly. Nothing is happening because you didn't plan it. You have to plan at least to an extent. I'm not saying like overthink everything. I'm just saying understand what you would do. Like step 1, step 2, marriage, consummation, cool. Next up, we got finances ready. I'm going to get to work. I'm going to go do the stuff. I'm going to also look after my body. She's there. She's going to look after the home and everything, yada, yada, yada. Of course, like I'm not going through the entire process because I'm not thinking about this at the moment, right? Because to me, like my thought process currently, if I would reveal, is that I'm going to work. That's about it. Like live, eat, live, be with my homies, pray, read Quran, moving on, work, hardcore work. We're going to work a lot. That's literally it. I literally, like, of course, I've been called a workaholic, and I do kind of believe like I'm a workaholic because I've seen enough evidences to like show that I'm a workaholic, and I love it too. Like, I really do love working a lot. Like anything, like I will completely end up dedicating myself to finish the task that I started. Like, no matter how long it takes, like I will finish it because even on my main channel, Cesarial the Official, shameless plug. I would be doing the paintings for 3 to 4 hours non-stop, and then I would just immediately upload it or just start editing it and then upload it, work on the thumbnail, keep it ready, boom. So it's like it's a whole different process. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to have the perseverance, the understanding, and the like. You have to be completely able to shift things. You have to have the leverage. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. You have to have the leverage on things to an extent.
Yes, exactly.
Do you got anything more to add, or like we're gonna start ending this episode?
Let's see. So there's the marriage aspect of things. What else can we add to the Muslim issue? Yes. So it's
just make dua
again.
Like just make dua.
Yeah, there's that. Then there's like, okay, just don't look at it. Just don't consume it. Then Allah is watching. Like that's definitely part of the solution. But one issue. Oh yeah, I might be. I don't know if I'm exaggerating this because it's been a while since I actually consumed like long form Islamic lectures. But what I do think is that how I talked about this being a multifaceted problem. Like there's the physical, there's the mental, the psychological, habitual, and then there's also the religious aspect of it. So there needs to be what's that word again? Not wholeheartedly. Holistic, yes, a holistic process that a person needs to go through with it, and I don't think that everything is addressed in those seminars, right? They only focus on one part of the solution.
They have like a time limit, right? So of course they have to like somehow just go about it and just end it there. But of course, like don't look at it, which is also again, which I kind of messed up, like because I didn't mention this. Just one peak. Remember, there's no such thing as just one peak. When you completely quit, we're gonna do like in the next episode. I think we're gonna talk about like what happens after you quit and like how to live and everything.
Oh yeah.
But right now we're just talking about like the middle part of everything. So, like just one peak, do not believe in that. Never. Your brain is just signaling you that, man, it's good for you, man. Like your deluded brain is not telling you it's good for you. Like no, never. You have like. This is where not even the willpower, because I said like I said that willpower is not needed over here. But like this is where your understanding and belief will just overtake your brain and be like, okay, shut the hell up and go back. Take the back seat. I'm on the driver's seat right now. You don't need to drive anymore, brain. You need to chill down. You've been on crack.
Yeah.
So basically just one peak. And speaking of just one peak, it's like don't look at these things. First off, which is true, do not look at these things. Put your head down. Like look down, right? Of course. But there's also the thing that whenever these things come in front of you and it's just like it's all over the place, first off, like we said, that reframe your mind so that you can just immediately like check it off, filter it out. It's like you don't accept any of this.
Yeah.
And you have to work on reframing your mind. And I think we're gonna have to explain this framing your mind even to a like broader bit if needed. I guess we will do that, like if needed.
Some other episode.
Yeah, sure. Some other episode. But like, yeah, That's pretty much it. I mean, it's not rocket science that it's way too hard or something like that. Like, if you think it's way too hard, it is going to be way too hard. I mean, some people quit it like in a matter of days or hours. Even. Like, even the first thing said in Easy Peasy is that the moment you stop, like, close the browser, you are a nofapper. Like, by default, you're literally a nofapper. The moment you just close the browser and close even the tabs, you are a nofapper. Like, damn. So if it's that easy, then think about it. It's like the complete thing is easy. So stop staying in just the nofap areas. It's like nofap, semen retention only. It's like, man, it's kind of hurting and this and that. I'm on day yada yada. It's like, never count your days. I strongly believe in never counting. Just live your life, dude. Like, just living your life is enough. Counting days is like, what? What's the price then? Like, what is the price? What are we expecting? With day 1000, what? Am I gonna get, like, given $1 million or something? Like, what's happening? Like, why? Why are you counting your days? You're not gonna get any prizes here. Nor is anyone just gonna pat your bag and be like, yo, you know what? 1000? Now I'm gonna sleep with you. Like, no girl's gonna do that. Seriously. Stop. What's your pickup line? Like, hey, girl, day 1000, what do you think? And then the other one's gonna be like, day 5000, homie, what do you think? Like, what is this, Mocha? You're not gonna get anyone like that.
Yeah.
Man, that's just something else. The way people sometimes kind of take things to the extreme. Man, that's what, never count your days, man. There's no positive to counting your days. Just live your life, do things, and like, whenever you, and also, journal. This is something I have to include a lot more, is that journaling. Whenever you have these negative thoughts or anything, just straight up write them down. Close your eyes, or even, like, if you can't write eyes closed, then just write it down, like, whatever, no judgment. Whatever it is you're thinking, right. Even if you're thinking that I am writing on a journal and I'm writing it down and I'm thinking about this, but I'm writing it down. You literally write it down even. I don't care. Just write. Because you have to figure out, like, whenever after you're done writing, look at it, analyze it, cross-analyze it, become a full-on monster, research the things that you've been saying about, and, like, figure out, like, what's the issue here? Why is this happening? Because first off, any person, I believe this strongly, that any person can quit porn by themselves. That you don't need a therapist necessarily, unless it's, like, very difficult for you and everything, and you need an accountability partner. I mean, okay, then you should go for somebody, I guess. But other than that, you can literally stop porn, quit porn on your own. And
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Completely. And also is there something to add? No, I don't think there's anything to add from my end.
For this episode, I think that's gonna be it.
I think so as well. Okay, then. I guess we're gonna end it here then, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So that's the end of the episode, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to follow us in our on our main socials, be sure to follow me at the Real Zubair. It's on YouTube and Instagram, and follow Caesariel the official both on YouTube and Instagram as well.
Yes, the links are going to be down in the description.
Yes. Oh wait, what about Catalyst?
Oh yeah, Catalyst too. Yeah, I'm gonna put his. I already said that. I'm gonna put his links there as well, man. Man's been doing some great work. Alhamdulillah. All right, man. See you guys, and be sure to stay strong. Never give in to your weaknesses. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Do the hard work, and especially when you don't feel like
it.
Yeah.